In the cold metallic corridors of the starship Argent Dawn, humanity's flagship for interspecies diplomacy, silence was a rare luxury. The ship pulsed with life. Hundreds of delegates, scientists, and diplomats from across the galaxy moved like parts of a great machine. But amid all the clamor, Lieutenant Darren Cole had found his own little corner of peace. Observation Deck 7. That's where he met her. Tall, elegant, and bathed in the soft bioluminescence unique to her kind, Varini of the Ashari Dominion stood with her arms behind her back, gazing silently into the endless sprawl of stars. Her skin shimmered a subtle lavender hue, and her eyes, those haunting deep opalescent eyes, held a depth that had startled him the first time they locked gazes. Darren had only meant to retrieve his datapad. The deck was often empty, and he preferred its quiet to the officer's lounge. But there she was, alien, regal, alone. He cleared his throat awkwardly. Didn't expect anyone else here. Varini turned her head slightly. Her gaze flicked over him like a scanning array. Peaceful, unlike the rest of this vessel. He chuckled. Exactly why I come here. She tilted her head, studying him. Darren had seen her at formal assemblies, towering beside other Ashari dignitaries. They rarely spoke to humans directly, considering them too emotionally volatile. That's what the interspecies manual said anyway. But today she didn't turn away. He stepped beside her. Lieutenant Darren Cole. I work in diplomatic logistics. Varini, right? She nodded slowly. High voice Varini of House Ulthar. Envoy of the Ashari. Then surprisingly, you may call me Varini. Something about the way she said it. It sounded like she was offering more than just her name. They stood in silence for a while, watching stars drift past. Then he blurted it out. Your eyes, they're beautiful. Varini blinked. Once. Her lips parted slightly, but no sound came out. A long pause stretched between them like gravity threatening to collapse a star. He cursed inwardly. Sorry, that was probably out of line. I didn't mean to. Do you mean it? She asked, voice barely above a whisper. He turned to face her. Of course I do. Varini's entire posture shifted. Her shoulders, usually drawn back in practiced poise, seemed to lose tension. Her gaze turned inward, uncertain. Among my kind, appearance is duty. We sculpt ourselves for roles. I am not made to be admired. I am made to represent. Well, Darren said, smiling gently. I wasn't admiring the representative. Just you. She went utterly still. The starlight glinted in her eyes. And then, without another word, she walked away. For 3 days, Darren didn't see her. He convinced himself he'd embarrassed her. Maybe even insulted her cultural norms. After all, Ashari were known to prize stoicism. Emotions were considered distractions from clarity. But on the 4th day, a message arrived on his datapad. Observation Deck 7. 3rd rotation. Come alone. V. He arrived early, heart thumping. She was already there, standing with her hands clasped. You returned, she said. I wasn't sure if I should. I wasn't sure if I wanted you to, she admitted. But I have questions. And no Ashari can answer them. He raised an eyebrow. I'll try. Varini turned to him. When you complimented my eyes, was it a tactic, a human mating ritual, or truth? Darren grinned. Why not all three? She didn't smile, but her eyes sparkled with curiosity. He leaned on the railing beside her. Look, Varini. Meant it. We humans, we notice things. Small things. The way light dances in your eyes. The way your voice lowers when you're uncertain. See you. Not the role. Not the title. She was silent for a long moment. Then softly she said, "We were told humans are careless with emotion. That you wield sentiment like a blade. Cutting, bleeding, fleeing." "Well," he said, "maybe. Or maybe we just aren't afraid to feel things." Verini turned to him. "Would you say it again?" He blinked. "Say what?" "That my eyes are beautiful." He smiled. "Your eyes are beautiful, Verini." And this time she didn't walk away. Over the next 2 weeks they met often, always on observation deck 7. Darren told her stories of Earth, of sunsets, oceans, music, and the strange freedom of laughter. In return, Verini shared Ashari traditions, how their kind channeled collective memory through bioluminescent tattoos, and how their society ranked emotions by spectrum and rarity. She confessed that being called beautiful was disorienting. "No Ashari has ever said such a thing to me," she murmured one night. "Not even my betrothed." He froze. "You're engaged." "Was," she corrected. "Diplomatic arrangement. Broken now." A wave of silence followed. "Because of me?" Darren asked carefully. "Because of me," she said. "Because for the first time in my life I questioned the script. Because a human told me I had beautiful eyes. And I wanted to hear it again." Rumors began to swirl. A human officer seen walking too often with the Ashari envoy. Whispers in mess halls. Disapproving glances from ambassadors. One night, Darren was summoned by Commander Reyes. "You're creating political waves," the commander warned. "The Ashari Council is watching. They're not used to their envoys getting personal." "I haven't done anything wrong," Darren insisted. He sighed. "No. But you've done something unprecedented." That night, Darren found Verini waiting in their usual place, her back tense. "I was questioned," she said. "By my house." He nodded. "So was I. They want to recall me." His breath caught. "What?" "They believe I am compromised. That you've emotionally influenced me beyond reason." "Have I?" She looked at him, and for the first time, there was no calculation in her voice. "Yes." She stepped closer. Close enough for him to see the faint shimmer of nervous light across her skin. "I do not want to return," she whispered. "I want to stay. To see where this goes." Darren reached out, gently taking her hand. "Then stay." But staying would not be simple. Within days, political pressure mounted. The Ashari demanded Verini be returned to her sector for realignment. The human delegation resisted, citing autonomy and mutual respect. It became a diplomatic standoff. And then, Verini made a choice that shocked both sides. She renounced her diplomatic role. In a live Interstellar broadcast, she removed her house sigil, letting it fall with a soft clink before the cameras. "I am no longer a voice of the Ashari," she declared. "I choose to walk a path that is mine. Not one sculpted by tradition, but one sparked by a human's words." It sent shockwaves through the galactic community. The Ashari declared her a dissident. Her name was struck from their records. She became a ghost. But to Darren, she was more alive than ever. They relocated to a research colony on the edge of Terran space. Life was quieter there, simpler. One evening, under twin moons on the colony's garden ridge, Verini leaned against him, her bioluminescent tattoos glowing softly beneath her collar. "Do you regret it?" she asked. "Everything you lost because of me?" Darren looked at her, truly looked and smiled. "I didn't lose anything," he said. "I just found something worth more." She turned to him, those beautiful eyes shimmering. I still don't understand how one sentence from you could change everything, she murmured. He brushed a strand of silver hair from her face.